Hey guys, welcome to another battle report. This time we've got some bolt action going on here. I've got my Fallschirmjäger out. We've not been doing 750 points. We've decided to up it to 1000 points this game. So my Panzer 3, there's Panzer 4, regular. Everything else is veteran, and they're all Fallschirmjäger. Set up as you can see. So I've got my level first lieutenant at the front. They've all got assault rifles. Then going from left to right, the painted guys. I've got a machine gun in there, and Panzerfaust, and I've got three pretty much the same except one missing the Panzerfaust. And then I've got an SMG squad, also with the Panzerfaust, leaving a veteran Puma and I say regular Panzer 4. And my opponent is also playing his Germans. He's getting up ready for a winter German set put together here. So we've got a Panther, I believe. I might get some things wrong here. The little two-man unit is Panzerschreck team, and you've got some regulars they have a mix of weapons in them, assault rifles and SMGs. Hanomag with the 2 machine guns. He then has a motorbike with a machine gun, another large squad of regulars, his officer's unit, and a Kubelwagen. So we get straight into the action. I don't think I took any over the overview pictures, I'm afraid. So this is a mission we move on with everyone. You have the chance to outflank, but neither of us outflanked. The other thing was, the mission is where you have to kill the opponent, and you've got to beat them by 2. So we'll have a little dice score going on every time we wipe out a unit. So he's got 9 units, I believe, and I had, I think, 7 from memory. So as long as I can kill off some small things, I should get in the lead quite quickly. So with that being the theory, other than a few shots earlier on, his BMW came on here and shot up my infantry down the bottom here. This is my assault squad. They all have SMGs, bar the Panzerfaust guy's got a rifle. Fired at them, pinned them, but did no damage. And I brought my Puma on and had a shot and took out the bike in one shot. My stand-in Panzer 4 opens fire on his infantry unit in the crops there. Take a couple of casualties, and unfortunately also gets a pin marker. I might not mention it a lot, but these guys pretty much stay there for most of the game, failing their leadership 9, I think even 10 at some cases with a general nearby test. Yeah, so his Panther comes on. That's pretty terrifying for my Panzer 4. We both got cover, and we spend pretty much the game firing at one another, first to try and take the other one out. This guy has also got a pintle mounted SMG, so if he wants to, he's got 3 MGs he can fire. That's 18 shots, so that's somewhat terrifying. And I've got my infantry unit out in the open here. I haven't taken any casualties, but I've already been hit twice, and it's got a couple of pins. My painted unit moves up into the trees. I've got another unit moved into the building on the top side there. I thought buildings would work well, but if you notice, my buildings only have windows and that facing the top, only the 2 sides, so I don't actually have any view up the road as such. So for now, that's how we're looking. So I'm using the grey German dice. My opponent's got some white dice that he's using, which is ideal, so we're keeping using these to keep score. Obviously I've wiped out his bike, so that's his first unit, and gives me a point. So during turn 2, the first couple of turns I only take some quick photos of as we are moving mostly up. My infantry moves up and advances into the cornfield. I've got my first lieutenant there, and I've got my SMG squad who takes a hit from his unit that went into the woods. Down the bottom there I have my Puma. You can just see the gun just pointing out, trying to take out his Hanomag, but does nothing. My unit that was out in the open moves up and goes into the building just to give them some cover for a minute, and so they're doing alright. I managed to pick up another point. His Panzerschreck team moved out where all my guys could fire on it. I managed to take out one of them, and the other one failed its morale check, removing the unit. So that's 2 units to me at the moment. Sorry about the sunlight. Get some funny pictures in this one with how bright the sun is, and this is how things are looking. So my opponent starts up and takes out my 2 of my guys here. I get rid of the guy with the Panzerfaust. If you notice, I've got actually loose Panzerfaust. What I do is I've got Panzerfaust that I've just put on the base and when they fired it, instead of changing the model, I actually just removed the Panzerfaust. Just an easy way for me to show it, I always thought. So they got 2 pins. Unfortunately, it was panic stations as I tried to activate these guys next, and they foobarred. And with my unit right next to them, and these guys now having 4, as what remains has 4 submachine guns, I really didn't want them to fire. Luckily, they panicked and fled from the nearest unit, and then went down. So I move up my other Fallschirmjäger, and they start opening fire on the squad in the woods. Managed to get 1 casualty and get a pin on them. The half-track there opens fire and managed to get one of my guys and gets a pin on them. Over here, these poor chaps took an absolute hammering. This was the Panther opening up with the 18 shots that it can give out. So it means the next turn the Panther will be open-topped, but I've got no mortars or anything in my units. What I'm going to do now, with only 1 man remaining in the squad, which is my sergeant with the assault rifle, I'm just going to move him back behind the woodland so he can't be seen and retain me with that point. So it's already the 2nd time these guys have needed a leadership test because they've got a pin on them. And the commander is behind them. So they are leadership 9 down to 8 with the commander there, which I think is only a 2nd. Puts them up to 9, managed to roll 11, so they're not doing anything this round and they'll go down. So I'll risk move my troops up, thinking hopefully I'll take out the half-track with my Puma shortly, and the tank might not get... will have to turn to get some good shots on me, which means my Panzer will be a bit safer. So I'll move up and get some close range shot and drop 3 of these guys and get another pin token on them. Yep, and as hope my Puma comes to the rescue. A little too late, as you may have noticed, the squad has gone. I don't know if there's any left there or not. I don't believe so. I think that's his first kill of mine. I don't normally take tanks, so it's quite nice to have a pretend Panzer IV out and about, but this Panzer is hard as hell, and this duel is just ridiculous. We keep shooting each other, and not much damage done either way. I think this time I get away with a... Did I get a glancing hit on me? I think from last time, so he had might have had a couple of pins on him, and yeah. Now he's firing back. I can't do anything to him, he's not doing anything to me. But I'm using my whole MG to try and hit the infantry. And as you can see there, I think his officer's squad is down to 1 man now. So that's another little squad if I can get. That's another point for me. Over on my right flank, I just keep the concentrated fire going and take down a few more of these guys. Get another pin token on them before they get to activate. Which means even if they do pass, they'll have another -1 to hit me due to pins. So I'm quite happy with that. And that's how things are looking. As you can see, my officer doesn't give a damn. He's getting out there. His little assault squad there has got 3 men in it, all with assault rifles. And my idea is just to get up there and pound some shots into his captain. I think he's down to 1 man now. If I can get it, it's a few extra dice. So yeah, at the moment I've got his bike, his command squad, and his Panzerfaust squad. Panzerschreck squad, sorry. So that's his 3 for me, and he managed to get my squad that decided to come out of the cover. So it's 1 to him at the moment. So on this side, I just continue the duel between me and the Panther. I'm just thinking if I can get 1 hit through, also all it's needed to get 1 extra dice, while my MG just keeps firing at the infantry squad as well. My little assault squad is moving up as well, keeping the pressure on and firing onto the squad in the woods. This is then added to with my other squad. With these guys so well pinned, I think he stays his morale as well, so ends up with like a little 2-man squad anyway. So he stays on the fights, but he's got 3 pins on him, and I'm not too worried about it. I just need to wipe it out for the points. And so this is how we're looking. As you can see, my men are pretty spread, but they're pushing him. I've got my little 1-man unit hiding behind the woods here, just to keep the points down. And yeah, my command squad there has moved up and taken out his command squad. Didn't do it last time. I made a mistake there. The 3rd point was for the half-track that I blew up. That's what the 3 came from. So I have this turn taken out his command squad with mine, just to get the extra point. So now at the moment it's looking 4 to me. 4 of my opponents died, and I've still only lost 1 squad, though I am cowardly hiding one of my 1-man squads away from him. I managed to get one pin on his tank, and yep, this turn, even with one pin, he fails to activate his tank with another 11 roll. These poor guys on the other side of him as well have just been pinned and stayed there for most of the game while I've been shooting at him. It's been heartbreaking for my opponent, and quite pleasing for me. Yes, failing pins, morale checks is a pain in the arse. So I move up here and fire at point blank range. Only managed to take him down to one man. He's had cover, small unit, close range. He was bloody lucky to survive that, but it's not to worry because I have got another unit nearby. Yeah, and my other unit finishes him off. You might wonder why I didn't charge in. One thing I have learned in bolt action is how deadly combats are, and it normally results in my better units being beaten up by some naff units. There's a game I played against someone who's got a fanatical conscript Russian army, and it was dreadful. So I tend to stay out of combat and rely on my shooting at point blank to do the damage. My command squad nearly survived, but he finally activated his infantrymen, and they finish off my commander, and this is pretty much how it looks at the end. And this is it. So what he finished off, 5-2. Whatever. I won the game and managed to get the 2 extra points as it resolved. I'm still not a big fan of tanks yet. My Puma's more of an annoyance. I use them as just some quick MG or some mobile cover. But the tank duel, these two tanks were firing each other all game, and I don't know, I think we might have played to 7 turns, got the extra turn in, and they did nothing to each other. Though the Panther, I have to say, would be pretty horrifying with 18 machine gun shots. I'm not liking that too much. But as you see, Game Box out of the way. Yeah, it's been a while since I played one because I wanted to get my guys painted up, but I've just got so many projects at the moment, I'm not going to get mine completely painted before another game, and I like to show the game because it is a damn good game. I'm not a big World War II fanatic, but the game system itself is really good and it plays well. So I'll see you next time. Farewell.